What a man may find is that he spends most of his time with others and very little time by himself. And so if he is now socializing or working, he could be with friends, or he could be with his partner, or he could be with one of the women that he is having casual encounters with. And if he was to spend even a few minutes by himself, he could feel extremely uncomfortable. And so before long, he could be reaching out for someone to spend time with. And if he was to look back on his life, he could see that he has more or less always been this way. And when he is around others, he may also find that he has a tendency to lose himself. So he can disconnect from his needs and feelings and his thoughts, and he can basically become who another person wants him to be, or who he thinks they want him to be. And so he won't stay connected to his true self. And so even though he will be around others, he won't be able to truly connect to them, because in order to do this, he will need to be connected to his feelings. And out of his need to be around others, it could mean that he often spends time with people who are not very good for him. And so he won't be able to be very discerning, because his need to avoid being alone will be very strong. And at this point, it could be said that he won't be an interdependent human being. He will be a dependent human being. So instead of him spending time by himself and connecting to who he is, connecting to his true self and his needs and feelings and thoughts, and so what he really wants and what he really wants to achieve in life, being by himself will be seen as something that is negative, something that is bad. So naturally he will avoid it. And when it comes down to why he is unable to enjoy time by himself and to be around others and to be connected to who he is at the same time, it can be due to what took place during his early years. And so it could be said that he will have an anxious attachment style. And so when he was very small, from the beginning of his life or a number of years after, his mother may have been there, but she might not have been consistent. And so there would have been times when she was there and she would have attuned to his needs, and then there would have been times when she wasn't. And this would have meant that he would have often felt abandoned, and he would have been abandoned, and he would have felt alone. And through having his mother there from time to time, it would have allowed him to feel comfortable reaching out to others. Whereas if his mother wasn't really there, and when she was there, she wasn't able to attune to his needs, then this wouldn't have taken place, and he would have ended up with an avoidant attachment style. And along with feeling abandoned, he would have also come to believe that there was something wrong with his needs, and he wouldn't have been able to grow and develop in the right way. So now that he's an adult, he will still carry this pain and still have these fears. He will still fear that he will be left, but of course this was something that did take place and it will be over. But in order for him to enjoy being by himself and to maintain who he is around others, he will need to work through these early wounds. So when he is by himself, he doesn't feel deeply alone and lonely. So he can feel alone, but he won't feel as though he is lonely and as though he will die. And then when he is around others, he can express his needs without feeling as though he will be abandoned. For this to take place, he will need to work through the layers and layers of pain that are likely to be held inside his body. And as he does this, he will be able to truly put this stage of his life behind him and to act like an interdependent human being. So if you're a man and you can relate to this, you can see that you find it hard to be by yourself, and when you are around others, you typically lose yourself and become someone else. So you are a people pleaser and you act selfless, perhaps. Then it will be essential for you to work through your inner wounds so that you can feel like an emotionally strong human being, feel comfortable with your needs, and to appreciate your own time. So please reach out for the assistance that you need to gradually change your life. If you would like to find out more about the services that I offer, please go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk, and I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.